Oh, well, there you are, friend and family. So good to see you again here on Christmas Eve 2023. And as you can see, we're in Alice. And I pardon me and Alice for the lighting conditions. She's got a rather dim dome light. Oh, imagine that. But hey, if you'd like to come along and see our little Christmas lights in our city, a little small town in the deep south of Alabama, jump on in. I hope you brought snacks. I got a few, some popcorn, some Frito chips, and cookies and what have you. And one of you always brings along some hot chocolate. I hope you did this year. And we're going to also see what's open on Christmas Eve. And we'll just ride around and see the lights if you want to. So jump in, like I said, behave. Yep, some of you will have to sit on each other's laps. And of course, there's always room in the rumble seat in the trunk. But you can't get on the roof, the trunk deck, or the hood. The police frown on that. So come along for our Christmas light ride on Christmas Eve. Turn off the dome light there so we can see the lights better. What do you think? And here we go. I wonder if people are going to be more festive this time of year. Let's find the gear, Alice. And let's get this show on the road. Woo, Steve's got some stuff going on over there. A little bit on his shop and in his yard. I don't know if you caught that on the left. But from what I'm seeing in my little neighborhood, it's rather dark. Of course, with electric prices the way they are these days, I can understand that. If you watch that video about electric rates around here. Let's head her over this way, because I'm going to go down by the lake and see if the people that are a little bit more affluent have a little more cheer. You would think they would. Or maybe they're just like all of us, struggling too. So far, things are dark. I would have thought on Christmas Eve, if for no other time, they'd light things up. And it's only 6 o'clock. Well, it's 5:40. Not quite 6. It's amazing it's dark this early. I would just wish they'd leave the time alone. We'll just stay on daylight savings time and call it our time. So yep, we got to find the road down here and take a ride. Yep, it's right here. This will take us down by some fine homes, down by the lake, or maybe there's a little more holiday cheer. Let's see. Whew, there's more speed bumps. So far, not a lot. But we're not quite down to the lake yet. There's somebody's got a nice decoration on their mailbox. I may be seeing a couple lights down here. It looks like there might be a snowman right up ahead. And if you could look in the windows where they got the curtains open, oh, they're getting a little festive over there, aren't they? Look at that. Got some wreaths all lit up with white lights. Got old Frosty in the yard. Ooh, that's nice. Yep, this little circle right off the lake shore. And there's the VFW. No activity tonight. It's all closed up. Well, there's a lot of gatherings going on. Look at all them vehicles in that yard. They're having them a Christmas Eve get together with their friends and family too. What a wonderful time of year to be doing such. Oh, I saw, oh, there's some lights on down there. Don't know if you caught that, way off to the right. But yep, it's looking pretty slim. Not many lights in sight. Turn on some more headlights there. Turn on the brights so we can see down in here. Yep, I'm looking down the side streets and I'm not having much luck. So there's that. Not much cheer down across the lake this year. Those speed bumps sort of snuck up on us. So let's head on out to the main drag, or what used to be, because it used to be called Main Street. It's not too main now. Pretty much everything's over on the west side of the bridge on Gilmer Avenue. They need to rename it Main Street. But you know, the city puts up a few things on the light poles and decorates a few other places too. But I'm not seeing much traffic out here. I'm thinking a lot of things will be closed on up, as they should be. But I'm seeing Buddy's is open, and that's a good thing. And I'm gonna whip in there real quick, and if you'd like to get a soda too, you can. And I'll be right back, because it may be the only game in town. We'll be right back. So if you want to get a pop or a soda, jump on out. So there we have it. Everybody got a soft drink. I got me a Coke. You remember those Coke commercials? They were ever so cute. What goes better with Christmas than an icy cold Coke? So we're back on our way again. See, thankfully, my favorite convenience store was open too. Buddy's. Woo! Look at those holiday bells. Yep, gas went back up. 287 now. Imagine that. But there you go. There's some holiday cheer. Up on the light poles. A silver star. Coming up, some holiday bells. And another silver star. Woo! This house over here on the left, look at it. Can you see it there? Woo! It's got all kinds of things out there. Snowman. Santa Claus is. Oh, here's another one coming up on the left. Gonna be hard to see with those bright lights hitting us in the face. But there's, oh, look at the one on the right too. Woo! And there's a church having Christmas Eve service. But I've noticed even the churches didn't decorate and show much holiday cheer. Maybe you'll tell me if any are in your local area. There's a little bit right there on their front porch. Oh yeah, looks mighty fine. We got some blinky blue lights down here. And they were showing off their Christmas tree inside. Well, they turned on the lights on the old country store. Oh, and looky here. We'll have to whip on in here and check it out. There's our Veterans Park. It's got a lit up Christmas tree too. The pavilion's got some decorations on it. Whoa, that's mighty nice. The courthouse has even got some lights on it this year. That's pretty grand. Even the library. So maybe, and it's been a year or so since we did this, so maybe there's a little bit more than years before. Well, if nothing more, we got the red and green on the Christmas tree. Ooh, look there. There's Santa's with Rudolph and his choo-choo train. Did you see that? That was mighty nice too. So we'll head across the bridge, which I guess all the workers got Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off. Yep, we're searching for holiday cheer. And I can see the lights around all the buildings up here on the old center of town, which used to be downtown. That's the police department coming up on the right. Whoops. Well, here you go. Here's some lights. We're gonna head on down to another fancy schmancy neighborhood. Even a little fancier than the one we were at earlier. There's a little bit over there on the right. What I'm seeing here is just the average, everyday people. Yep. They ain't got much going on. And I haven't decorated, you know, since the kids actually moved on, except when Davey would come down. And of course, as you know, Davey was born right here. Yes, he was. So, I put lights up for him. But putting up lights for the kiddie crew and just old little Mr. Tom, the kiddie crew don't much care about lights. They just rather have a couple cans of tuna. And they're all right. So we're going to go up here and take a lefty soon. Oh yeah. We're going to head on in here. To Clairwood, which has got some lights on their sign. Those were nice. Oh, and look at there. They got some right there too. On that fine front porch. Oh, couldn't see that because it's way off the road. For those of you who are in the car, you can see when they got their windows open, showing off their trees. Yep. But I'm seeing a lot of darkness up here too. Oh, we got a little bit coming up there on the left. Oh yeah. Oh, there's Santa out there in a boat. There's some blow up ones. So there's a little bit here. That house looks nice over there. It's rather majestic. Yes, it is. So, there's what we got for Christmas lights this year. Not a lot happening. There's a little bit off to the right. I'm not sure how much the GoPro picks up, you know. But we'll go past these, which are now on the right. They're dimly lit, but maybe you can see them enough. Yep, there's Santa in his pickup truck. And see right out there is Santa in his canoe. Did you see that? Who knew Santa had a canoe? I didn't know. So yeah, things are looking a little dim. Imagine that. But you know what, folks? As long as you got that holiday cheer in you, you'll shine brightly through the holidays and the coming year. You see, it's not all about shiny things and bright Christmas lights. Nope. It's about a whole lot more that I think we've lost in this day and time. If I could have the Christmases, even though the gifts may have been slim from back in my childhood, if I could bring them back to now, I certainly would. Because it was a time for family and friends to gather around. Oftentimes sharing what they had. You see, because back when we were born, the country hadn't too long been coming out of a whole lot of pain. You know, think about it. our great-grands and our grandparents, and even our parents too. They saw the likes of World War I, the Great Depression, the Dust Bowl, and World War II. Things were harder for them than what we've ever experienced in our lifetimes overall. Now that doesn't mean people don't suffer likewise anymore. You can have your own Great Depression any day of any year, or your Dust Bowl, natural disaster, and what have you. But as we get older, and that, yep, his headlights are so bright I couldn't even see. I couldn't even see when they were so bright. I'm not sure he had them on dim or what have you. But some of these lights are so bright, even I can't see. So we're not finding much out here this year, it seems. There's a little bit coming on over to the right. And you know what we used to do when we would see lights? Woo! Oh, so pretty. Yeah. We'd make a big deal out of them too. Yes, we would. The kids used to delight, just like I did with my sisters and brothers in my parents' car when they did this too. There's another one so bright I can't even see. And being down in Little Alice, that's the bad thing. That's why I don't drive much at night. Woo! There's some coming up on the left. Now remember what we're supposed to do. Ooh, ah. So, hey, they got red candy canes. So pretty. Oh, and they had those blow-up animals over on the right. You probably didn't catch them. They were way off the road, and there was a Santa on the left all blown up and bright. But yep, it's not all about this. No, it's not. It's all about the spirit of giving. But much more, it's the spirit of caring. Caring for one another. For those that might have it not as good. And it just seems, maybe it's just me, and my eyes are getting old, but it seems pretty darn dark tonight. Darker than I remember it being. And I got a guy with his bright lights on me from behind. Which is shining right in my mirror. Blinded me too. Of course, that guy just brightened his into mine, you know, because the guy behind me has got his on too. Well, Hardee's is open. Well, so far it's been pretty slim. I sort of thought it might be. Of course, the Sunoco's open. So there is that. And he's still got his brights on right behind me. think a lot of it is these big old SUVs and pickup trucks. Of course, see how entitled he thinks he is? He's got a race on ahead and act a fool. Of course, if I had to guess, he may have been at a Christmas Eve party too, and probably had a little bit more than he should have had. Oh, look at that. Those are some nice lights up on the light poles. Woo! I'm liking those Christmas tree ones. Of course, as you can see, I'm doing the speed limit of 35, and they all go zipping by me like I was standing still. Yep, imagine that. But it does look like for the majority of our ride, we're just going to see the beautiful decorations on the light poles the city put up. Because I'm not seeing a whole lot more. There's a house down there that's got a whole bunch of lights. Even our Catholic church didn't go out with much. A few white lights on the bushes, and that was about it. Taco Bell didn't do a thing. And I was thinking Superfoods was going to be closed. I think they may be now. Of course, this guy here probably thinks they're still open. He's going to head her on in there. Well, maybe not. He just got his blinker on. And he may be lost. But for the most part, well, I knew the convenience stores would probably be open. Because people are going to have to get their refreshments for Christmas Eve. But it looks like Jack's may still be open. Yep, they are. But we'll give them a break. And we won't go there. Though it was tempting. Especially with all of you in the car. And of course McDonald's is open. Who would have thunk it? I knew they would be. Woo, and look over here to the right. You see all that going on? The city put up all that. Woo, that's mighty nice. Don't know how much you could see, but it was nice. Well, they got a little nativity scene out there at the church. Some wreaths and stuff on the pillars, but that was about it. Didn't see much going on with the churches this year. Of course, here again, they may understand. Christmas is not about all the shiny things and the bright lights. Like I said, it's about caring for your family, your friends, and your loved ones too. And hey, being charitable when you can to those that are less fortunate than you. You see, since I've come to know all of you, it's had a great impact on my life that I never thought it would have. And I don't mean with the donations and the super thanks, though they really help out. And I thank you all for being so generous and kind. It's about all the things you share with me. Sometimes they break my heart, but other times they fill it full of joy. Yes, they do. And I think, you know, we all pray for each other. Yes, we do. And there's power in prayer. I know that to be absolutely true. So yeah, if you don't get nothing more out of this, and some of you may have switched off because there's not many lights around my little small town. You see, we're just a little small, middle class and lower town in the deep south of Alabama. A little small town struggling to make it. And as we all know, these times have made it all the harder still. I think we're all feeling it. And it appears even the more affluent are too. We got that little angel with her wings unfolded, sitting out there all lonely like. If I didn't have you all in the car, I think I'd go out and sit on that bench in the darkness of twilight and contemplate what it's all about. Look at right there. That's pretty nice. Ooh, that'd be a ooh. Oh, they did a fine job in this little neighborhood. It warms my heart, because this is my neighborhood. There's not a rich person to be found. There's a nice one over there on the left, don't you think? See right here? Looking nice. Hope we don't run across some police, because we're zigzagging all around, checking out the lights. I hope not. Oh, we got some coming up here on the left and the right. Oh yeah, that's really nice there on the changing colors and everything. That's really nice. Woo! That definitely deserves an ooh and an aw. Now who would have thought in just an average neighborhood we'd find more holiday cheer than we did down with the affluent people this year. There's a nice one coming up on the right. Very nice. Looking good. You know, we used to have a contest every year. Several categories we did for who had the best Christmas decorations. Of course, as you know, most cities, states, federal government too, they don't say Merry Christmas no more. You see, I'm not offended by other religions. We all get to choose what we want to. You know, that's a basic human right in the US of A. I've got relatives that celebrate Hanukkah because they're of the Jewish faith. They're Jews. Yep, right in my very own family. And I respect them too. I have Catholics. Yes, I do. In my direct family, my sister's Catholic. My wife was too. And there's many more. We have Protestants and Presbyterians. We have Lutherans and Episcopals. And who knows? We may have a Muslim or two. But my whole point is, we should all respect each other's faith and get along and be happy. There's a nice, quaint, subtle decoration to the right. These speed bumps are annoying, and it's sad that people can't behave, so we wouldn't have to have them. But I guess a speed bump pretty much sums up how our society has went. Speed limits 15. Why can't you just do that? I'll guarantee you, if you hit these bad boys very fast, you're going to put a dent in your roof. There's quite a few of them right in here. Well, there's a nice house there on the right, all decorated up. They were having a big get-together, Christmas Eve party earlier. So yep, not a whole lot going on, but we saw some. We saw a lot more. Ooh, there's some right there to the right. See, when you just think you won't see no more, there's more in sight. Well, I could just ride for hours. Yeah, I could. Of course, little Alice, she'd do it too. She loves to ride. And I'm sure all of y'all would come along too. But we got her header back to the house. Because like all of you, I've got things I've got to do and get ready for tomorrow. The big day. Hey, I still haven't put out cookies or milk for Santa yet. Don't forget that. And remember this truth. If you don't believe, you don't receive. And my father, God bless his soul, was adamant about that every year, right up to the year he passed. So yeah, here we're back, heading down the home stretch to home. Well, I hope at least the ride along was entertaining, and maybe you'll catch the holiday spirit too, if you haven't already caught it. And maybe tonight, when the lights dim and everything goes slow, you'll think about the real reason for the season. Yes, you will. The birth of Christ and the season of caring for all of his children too. And here we are. So hey, y'all can all pile out and come on inside. We've got some eggnog, I think, left. We've got plenty of cookies, Fritos, and Lay's potato chips. And hey, if you twist my arm, you know, you see I bought all that cheese. And I've even got some summer sausages and stuff that some of y'all sent me from the Hickory Farms and Swiss Colony too. And I want to thank y'all for all of that too. Plus all the wonderful cards and letters that warm my heart and make doing this such a treat, not only for me, my children, my grandchildren, but now all of you, my friends and family. Well, let's get on up to the house. What do you say? So y'all, I'm not going to apologize for the lack of lights or the fact that it was quite dark. At least that's how it looked to me. Yeah, we all know about inflation. It's really cutting into our pocketbook pretty hard. I know it is for me, and I know it is for all of you too. And I think you see that wherever we go. But don't lose the holiday cheer. Maybe think a bit. Spend some time on this, and let's recapture what it's all about. It's not about gifts, shiny new things, or bright lights. It's only about one light, and that was the gift from God, His only truly begotten Son. Yep. And that was supposed to inspire all of us too. Not just on this Christmas season, but all through the year to come, to remember those less fortunate than us. Because there's always somebody, no matter how bad you got it, that has less than you. Trust me, there is. And I've had less than I have now. And I don't have a lot, but I have a lot more than some. Yeah. So yeah, remember those less fortunate, those that are unfortunate, and everything throughout the coming year. And let's remember the gift that God gave us and spread the cheer. So that's my message to all of you, to have respect, to care for others, whether you have a little bit or a lot. And respect each other's faith, because that's an individual freedom and a matter of choice. I think we should all grow up and start doing that too. That was one of the founding principles this great country, the US of A, was founded upon a long, long time ago. Something we've forgotten too. So hey, until I see you, the kitty crew, Cleo, Spooky, Speedy, sometimes Heathcliff, and old Fluffy Muffin, and of course, the princess of the house, Gracie. See you on that next episode of Mr. Tom's Neighborhood. I want you all to have the merriest of Christmases you can. Here again, whether you got a little bit or a lot. And hey, maybe just go for a ride. Enjoy the sights if you can. Do what you can do, what you have on hand. And as always, may God bless each and every one of you as you bless those in your lives. Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and goodbye, and good night for now. I got to get on with the Christmas Eve prep, and I got to prep for Christmas. Dinner too. Doing something I've never done before. I've had duck, goose, turkey, Cornish game hens, even a chicken or two. But tomorrow, I'm going way off the chain and having something I've never had Christmas Day before. Oh, you caught me thinking about tomorrow and my meal plan. But I can't give up the secret, because I might show it to you later on. Love y'all. Gracie, y'all ready to sleep? Kid crew is. Whew, let's cut off the lights. We're giving Alabama Power too much of ourselves now.